Yo, so yesterday I was just thinking about, the players that are criminally underrated, the people that might really go off the season. I mean, it's 60 games, less chance of getting injured. I mean, this is going to be a fun season. So, I just made a list on the people I think could really go crazy this year. So, I mean, before we get into this, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. I really love you guys. We are on the road to 100 subs. I might do a giveaway at 100 subs. I might actually think about doing a giveaway at 100 subs. So get me to 100 subs. And I might think about giving y'all a PlayStation gift card, bro. Yeah. So, let's just get straight into the video. My number 10 player to look out for in an MLB 2020 season is Tommy Edman. Last year, he was really good. In 92 games, he batted .304. He had a .350 on base, a .500 slugging percentage, and a .120 OPS plus. He was crazy, man. He's a switch hitter. He's very good at defense. Honestly, I think he can hit like 290 this season. I honestly think he can hit like 5-10 homers, steal a couple bags, play very good defense, could possibly be a Gold Glove candidate. I mean, he's pretty good. He's fast. I think, honestly, Tommy Edman could be a all-star, like, a Gold Glove candidate, man. I think he can be really good this year. My number 9 player to look out for in the 2020 season is Brian Anderson, man. He's a very versatile defender. Last year, even though he was hurt, he still batted .261. His on-base percentage was .342. His slugging percentage was .468. 811 OPS plus at 114. He had 120 hits, 20 homers, 66 RBIs. He was very good. Just hitting and pretty decent OPS. Very good slugging percentage. But I mean, honestly, if he can be very good defensively, another Gold Glove candidate. I really like his hitting, man. Since it's a 60 game season, he might be able to hit like 280, 290. I mean, less homers, yeah, but I think he can do very well. His slugging percentage is going to be high. A .468 last year. Pretty good. The thing is, though, with him, he does strike out a lot. I believe he had 459 at-bats, and he had 145 strikeouts, which is a lot of strikeouts. Hopefully, he can cut down on the strikeouts, because that will lower his batting average. Even though batting average doesn't really matter, it's still kind of important, you know what I mean? My number 8 player to look out for in 2020 is a surprise pick. It's Blake Treinen, man. Blake Treinen, he had a terrible year last year. He had like a 5 ERA. I mean, he was just bad. But in 2018, this man was nasty. He had a .78 ERA, a whip at .83, a ERA plus at 5.31, a FIP at 1.82. I mean, he was nasty in 2018. And I think, honestly, in 2020, if he can, stay consistent, I think he can have like a 3.5 ERA to like a 3 ERA. I think he can have a nice bounce back season. I think that if he just stays focused and plays like he did in 2018, man, he can have a pretty good year, and I think he can get signed again because he only has a 1-year deal. Number 7 on my players to look out for in 2020, man, is Carson Kelly. I mean, Carson Kelly went off last year, man. He batted .245. That might look bad, but he had a .348 on-base percentage. That's very good for his batting average. He had I believe a .478 slugging. He had an .826 OPS and a .112 OPS plus. He played 111 games. He had 18 homers, 47 RBIs. He actually walked more than he had RBIs. He had 48 walks. 77 hits is pretty good for 111 games. In a 60-game season, I think he can be very good. If he can get that average up, I think he can be very good because he walks a lot. He can get on base. He slugs. I just think if he can, up that batting average, I think he can be a lot better. He's also a very decent defending catcher. I think, honestly, if he just plays well, he ups the average, and I think he can be a very good player in 2020 with the 60-game season. Number 6, I have Lance Lynn. Lance Lynn last year, he had a 7.5 WAR. He had a 3.67 ERA and a whip of 1.22. That might seem like but he had 246 strikeouts. He had a FIP at 3.13, ERA plus at 141. And honestly, I think he was very, very good for the Rangers, man. And he's going to be a key part in the Rangers possibly being able to win games. I mean, that starting rotation is going to really need him. Corey Kluber, Mike Minor, and him, man. It's going to be a very telling year because Lance Lynn usually falls off. I mean, he fell off before, but this year he had a bounce back year, and he was great. So hopefully he can show that in the 60-game season. He can be very good for multiple years. My number 5 player to look out for in the 2020 season is Bo Bichette, man. Bo Bichette, he is nasty. He is a sexy beast, man. And last year in 46 games, he batted .311. He had a .358 on base, a .571 slugging, and an OPS at .930, a .144 OPS, and he hit 11 homers last year. He had 61 hits. I mean, in a 60-game season, the hits are gonna go up. He might hit a little bit more homers. He hit a lot of extra base hits last year. He's not a bad defender at all. He's pretty good at shortstop. I think Bo Bichette, man, he could be an MVP candidate if he goes crazy, gets a lot of extra base hits, is a decent defender, has a high OPS, which he did have a high OPS in 46 games last year, which hopefully I think he can keep it up. He's a young guy, he's quick. I think Bo Bichette, man, he is a very strong candidate for MVP, man. He was a straight monster last year, and hopefully he can do very good because I do have him on my fantasy team. My number 4 player to look out for in 2020, his name is Tyler Glasnow. And Tyler Glasnow, last year, even though he was injured in 12 games, he had an ERA of 178, okay? That is very good, man. And since that's basically what he's going to be pitching this year, if he has that, that's an easy Cy Young for him. He had a whip at .89. He had 76 strikeouts and a FIP at 2.26 and an ERA plus at 250. Last year he was injured, but since the 60 games and he's basically going to do this, I think Tyler Glasnow can be a big Cy Young candidate, and I'm surprised people aren't talking about it, man. Tyler Glasnow last year was disgusting. He was a good player, and hopefully he can do something next year and show people that he is legit. My number 3 player to look out for in 2020, it's a little bit of bias, but Luke Floyd, man. Luke Floyd. This man is a monster. In 118 games, he had 113 hits, 21 homers, he batted .263, he had 62 RBIs, a on base of .378, a .464 slugging, and OPS at .842, and a .124 OPS plus. This man last year was raking before he got injured last year. He was a monster. He hit homers. He got hits, man. He was able to get on base. He was able to walk. He slugged very well. I think Luke Floyd, plus playing in Yankee Stadium, is a very good thing, man. Short porch. I mean, it's like a Little League stadium, man. He can hit some bombs for 60 games, man. I think he can have like 15, 20 homers, even though, actually, I think he can honestly be a high slugging guy, extra base hit guy, possibly like 10, 15 homers. I think Luke Floyd next year, this year, Luke Floyd this year will be a beast in 2020, man. You guys gotta look out for him, man. Possible Silver Slugger Award type guy, man. He is going to be a monster. You gotta check him out. My second player to look out for in 2020 is Jonathan VR, man. Switch hitting bat. He batted .274 last year. He had a .339 on base. He had a .453 slugging. OPS at .792. That may be low, but I mean, he had a .109 OPS plus. He stole 40 bags. Next year, he is going to be a beast, man. Shortened season, it might increase his OPS, it might increase his batting average. He's gonna steal bases. He's not the greatest defender, but if he can improve this year, I think honestly he can be a very, very good player. And honestly, I think he can bat like 285, probably have 10 homers. He can probably steal like 15, 20 bags. I think his OPS can be above 800 this year. And I believe he had a career high in homers at 24. last year. So his power went up, and if he can increase that power, he's not gonna hit as many homers as he did last year because 60-game season. But since he has some more power, he can get extra base hits and still have a decent amount of homers. I think Jonathan VR will be a monster next year. You guys really gotta look for him, man. And even at MLB The Show, you might have to invest in him, man. He might turn gold. Just saying. My number one player to look out for in 2020 is Chris Paddock, man. Chris Paddock, I'm so high on Chris Paddock. I think he can be a Cy Young candidate, man. Last year, at a 3.33 ERA, he had a whip at .98. He had 153 strikeouts and 140 innings. He did get injured, but still, he was very good. And in 60 games, he might not get injured because it's less games. Less stress on him for more games, you know? His whip is very low, so I believe that he doesn't allow anybody on base, which means he can be a very good player, man. It's just that he needs to improve on not giving up homers. And he plays in San Diego, which I believe is not a hitter's park, man. I think if he can just lower his home run rate and just give up less home runs, I believe that he can really be a Cy Young candidate, man. I think he can have like a 2.5 ERA. Like, since he has a very low whip already, I think he can lower that into a .9, a .8 possibly. I think Chris Paddock, he's a decent strikeout getter. I think he can honestly be a beast for this season and for the rest of his career, man, because he throws hard. He has a good changeup, a good curve. Like, I think he can really mix his pitch as well, and I think that this year he might be a dark horse Cy Young candidate, man, and you guys gotta really look out for him. If you guys haven't already, please like and subscribe, bro. I really appreciate you guys watching to this point. I might actually do a giveaway at 100 subscribers. Please get me up to 100 subscribers, man. I really appreciate you guys watching. I really love y'all. Peace.